Hi everyone, this is my first YouTube tutorial. I've been getting asked a lot to start doing tutorials, so I'm going to start. This is going to be on how I do my eyebrows. I get asked that often. So this is my eyebrow routine. What you would need is definitely a really good angle brush, brow brush. Also a flat concealer brush or even an angle brush as well that you use for your concealer. A good eyebrow pencil and a concealer, or I actually use the Billion Dollar Brows. It's a duo pencil, so there's a highlighter and a concealer as well. And I also use a matte pigment by Unique. This is new to me. I really like it. It's perfect for doing your brows. Also, it might be helpful to have a magnifying mirror. So this is a 10 times magnifier, so you can see every little detail in your eyebrows. My first step, what I always start with, is brush your brows. So you want to kind of go up in an upward motion, make sure everything's kind of in place. I know my brows are terrible. That's why I have to fill them in, because I don't really have much for brows. Then you take your pencil. I'm using It Cosmetics Brow Power. It's a universal brow pencil, so it actually matches to your color, whether you're blonde or super dark. So it just depends on the pressure you apply it with. Okay, so you start with your pencil, and you make sure it's really sharp, or this one has a flat edge, so just use the sharp edge of it. And just start from the inside corner of your brow. Making a really nice defined line for the underneath shape of your brow. It doesn't matter if it's perfect because you're going to clean it up after. So that's step one. I would also use my pencil. Now I use a pretty hard firm pressure underneath to make sure you get that really defined shape. I use the same pencil. I don't press as hard. I get kind of more of a lighter pressure to just really lightly outline the top shape of your brow as well. So this is where you can kind of give yourself an arch if you don't really have one. Just like that. Then it's kind of nice because you can change up your brow shape to however you're feeling that day. And you just meet it at the tail. Again, doesn't matter if it's perfect, you can always clean it up after. And still using my pencil, I then will fill in just from the tail. This tutorial I'm going to do kind of my signature brow look, I guess you could say, which is more of a gradient look versus a solid brow. So I fill my tail in just to where the arch is with my pencil. Just like that. Take your brow brush and just kind of lightly start blending it together just like that. Next step, I take my angle brush and start on this inside corner again. And you just want to lightly, in kind of upward motions, sort of blend that line a little bit so it's not such a harsh outline. I'm hoping you guys can see what I'm doing here. And just blend everything together. Okay. Then I take my pigment. So I'm using the Unique pigment. It's called Irresistible. It's just a kind of a medium matte brown. Never use shimmer. obviously. You don't want sparkly brows. So I just take a little bit of that out. And you can use this wet or dry. I use it dry because I like for my brows to have kind of more of a lighter appearance at the start of the brow. Some people like a darker brow. You can do it if you want to. It's up to you. So I take a little bit of that on my angle brush. And again, I just kind of start in the middle here and kind of brush it into the hairs in an upward stroking motion, just to give it the most natural look that you can. And again, you just kind of want to gently blend that first line that you made underneath of your brow. Okay, like that. And then I'll usually take my brush and blend that all through as well. So that's kind of the basic outline. Then what I usually do, if you're in a rush or just kind of doing a 5-minute face, this is fine. What I like to do though is to clean up the edges. Excuse me. Clean up the edges so you have that really sharp, defined look. So I take my $1 Billion Brows, you can use just a plain concealer, and I take the highlighting side for underneath, and I just kind of put, just a kind of a messy, not too messy, but it doesn't matter if it's perfect because you're going to use your brush. And you can actually really carve out a nice high arch using this technique as well. So you just want to put that right under the line that you started with. Kind of down into your corner. And then you take your flat concealer brush and you just lightly blend that down. Starting at the inner corner. And you can make a really nice, sharp, clean line with this technique. And it also kind of gives you a nice highlight on your brow bone, which I like as well. So you just want to make sure that it's nicely blended into your natural skin tone so you don't have that kind of harsh white line that I've seen on some people. You don't want that. Okay, so that's good enough for now. And then I also, using the same highlighter concealer pencil that I use, I take the concealer side, so it's not quite as light, it's more of a skin tone, and I just clean up the edges on the top. So I usually will start just above the tail. Oh, I should have sharpened this first. Yeah, you kind of want a nice sharp pencil, or if you're just using a concealer, you use an angle brush and it's fine. So again, using your concealer brush, you just blend that up and make yourself a really nice clean line. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm not even really looking at what I'm filming here. So again, you really want to blend that into your natural skin tone so you don't have that weird looking white outline. Which mine's pretty exaggerated to make sure that you guys can see what I'm actually doing. So you're going to want to blend it a bit more than I have. And just clean up any lines that you're not happy with. Blending it all out. Okay, excuse me again. And also for me, when I do the gradient brow look, it's really important. This is the last step. Super simple, but this kind of completes the look. So again, you want to take your concealer, whatever shade you're using, and just at the very beginning of your brow, put a few just really light strokes of that concealer just in the front of your brow. Okay, just like that. And again, take your concealer brush and just really lightly kind of feather that concealer through. And you just do that until you're happy with how it looks. And then the last step that I do, I actually forgot my brush, so I'm just going to run and grab it. Okay, so the last step I do is I just take my regular foundation brush or my powder brush that I apply my powder foundation with, and I just go over it, just really lightly to set everything in place. And if you want to, you can just clean up any little bits that you're not happy with, again, whatever you like. And that's it. That's my gradient brow routine. You can have a closer look at it. But that's it, step by step. My brows. Thanks, guys. Bye.